Yo, what's good, Jets Nation? This is Jets Media, bringing you guys day 13 of Jets training camp, and I had to bring Jack back on the channel. You guys showed a lot of love. You guys loved having Jack on the channel, and today was a really good day for Jets camp, so I had to make sure I called Jack. I'm like, yo, we need to have you on today's training camp report.
It's a positive
because
day.
It's a positive day for New York Jets.
Yes, sir.
And before we get into the video, I just want to mention, you guys know I have a brand new YouTube channel titled Touchdown Kingdom. Yesterday, I actually made a whole video on the AFC East running backs. So I break down the Jets running back room, the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll leave the link down below in the description. And with that being said, let's jump right into the injury report. And there is some positive news. I'm really excited to bring you guys this news.
Yeah, man.
So the injuries, right? We'll start off with the bad news before we get into the positive side of the injury update. So people that sat out in today's practice are guys like Marcus May with a calf injury, Alex Lewis left with a shoulder problem, Chris Herndon, he's dealing with a chest problem. He suited up and participated in individual drills, ran some routes, but he did not participate in team drills. So they're just being really precautionary with there. I don't think that's too serious. Brashad Perriman is still dealing with a knee injury. He was running around in practice on an opposite field, so he's still trying to get his knee back in shape. Unfortunately, it keeps swelling, so it's definitely a concern. Adam Gase is concerned with it, but hopefully they're just being precautionary, and he'll be back by week 1.
That's the one that kind of concerns me the most, I feel like.
Yeah, Brashad Perriman, we need him out there as soon as possible. Braxton Berrios, he's dealing with a lower back injury, and rookie offensive lineman Cameron Clark is dealing with a knee injury. So those are the people that did not practice today. The good news, the people that came back from injury, rookie Denzel Mims, he participated in individual drills. Here's a video of him running a route. Good to see Denzel Mims suiting up because he is a huge part of the Jets offense.
Huge, man. Finally, he's back out there. It's so good to see it.
Yeah, it's the next step for him to be participating in team drills, so that's a really good sign. Another player who's come back is cornerback Pierre Desir. He participated in team drills as well. I'll get into what he did in today's training camp later on. Rookie Jabari Zuniga, he is our defensive lineman, edge rusher. He came back and participated in some drills. He was not a full participant, but it's a good sign. He was dealing with a quad injury. And then rookie undrafted free agent, wide receiver, Lawrence Cager. He seemed like the fan favorite, and he got injured actually the day Jack was on my channel.
Yeah.
So it's good to see him back out there. He had a really good day of camp, and it looks like his knee is going towards the right direction. Offensive tackle Conor McDermott, he went down with an injury like a couple weeks ago. He's back out there, which is good. We need depth. And then wide receivers Jameson Crowder and Chris Hogan, they did not practice yesterday. They were fully participating today. So that's a really long list, and it's a really positive sign that these guys are getting back healthy. What do you think, out of all these guys that are back, who's the most important guy that you think is going to make an immediate impact on this Jets team?
I'm going to have to go with Denzel Mims. I think he has everything that it takes to be a stud number 1 wide receiver in this league. I think Sam needs that on this offense, and I'm excited to see him take more reps.
Yeah, I mean, Denzel Mims is he has such high expectations for Jets fans right when he got drafted, and unfortunately he did not get to practice, but to see him out there suited up in that number 11 and just seeing him catching passes for Sam Darnold is such a good sign. He might not be 100% ready to go week 1 in terms of mentally, but as the season progresses, I think Denzel Mims is going to be making plays out there, so that's a really good sign. So going into what happened in today's training camp, away from all the injuries, Sam Darnold lit up the camp with absolutely no names at his wide receiver position. He had extremely accurate deep balls to guys like Dante Moncrief, Jehu Cheeson, and Josh Malone. That shows you that Sam Darnold has what it takes to elevate guys around him. And what do you think of that?
I don't even know who 2 out of 3 of those guys that you just listed are. So the fact that Sam, made them have a nice practice, made them play well in practice, happy to see it, man. Sam is continuing to develop as the leader of this team. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to see that Sam is playing well with these backup receivers. Hopefully, these backup receivers are not playing week 1 against the Bills, and hopefully Denzel Mims, Brashad Perriman will be starting on the perimeter. But it's a really good sign to see that Sam Darnold's getting chemistry with these backups and seeing that Sam Darnold's good enough to elevate these backup no-name receivers. Guys like Jehu Cheeson and Josh Malone, they're like no-name guys, but he's finding them. I think Cheeson had a diving catch, and then Dante Moncrief had like a 40-yard reception. He beat Bless Austin, so it's good to see. This is Dante Moncrief's first practice actually playing with the Jets, so it's good to see him having an immediate impact on this Jets offense.
Definitely.
Another receiver that played well today who came back from injury is Lawrence Cager. He was all over the field making plays, and like I said, last time Jack was on the channel was the day he went down with an injury. So do you think Lawrence Cager can make this roster, especially with this depleted wide receiving group?
I hope so. I'd love to see him make the team. I love guys that come in to the Jets with a chip on their shoulder, something to prove. I feel like he's that guy. We lost Robbie Anderson last year, as everybody knows. So I feel like, I would love it to be Mims as our, bona fide number one stud this year, because we drafted him early and we need young players to prove themselves on this team. But I think Cager, if he makes the team, can be a great addition to the team. And,
Absolutely.
kind of just be like, a guy, just a kind of like a scrappy guy coming into the mix. I don't know. I like his play style.
Yeah, he's 6'5", big frame, so he's a red zone threat. Sam Darnold has connection with him already, and I think he's gonna make a lot of plays if he's healthy and if he makes the roster. Hopefully he does. Going on to what else happened in today's training camp. Makai Beckham is continuing to develop and prove that he is going to solidify this left tackle position. As you guys know, in the green and white practice I reported, Frankie Louvu beat him and sacked Sam Darnold. What happened in today's practice? Here's a tweet from Rich Cimini. I really laugh at it the way he worded it. Makai Beckham gets his revenge. One play, Frankie Louvu tries to beat him on the outside. Makai Beckham completely just polarizes him outside, and Frankie Louvu can't do anything. Next play, Frankie Louvu tries to beat him inside, and Frankie Louvu's on his knees and just gets absolutely dominated, and Makai Beckham's a brick wall. So what are your expectations for Makai Beckham as a rookie?
I have big expectations for him as a rookie, honestly. I have a soft spot for the left tackle position. I used to play a little bit of left tackle back in the day. I love it so much. I think Makai is such a good fit for this team. I love how there's all 5 new guys on this offense, so there's not an extreme amount of pressure on Makai's shoulders as like the singular new presence on the line. So I feel like he's gonna fit very well into this system, and I'm ready to see him dominate.
Yeah, me too, man. I hope he can dominate. And last night, One Jets Drive came out with an episode, and they went over Conor McGovern as a center. And I really like Conor McGovern as well. He looks like he's solidifying that center position, and hopefully he can be that guy that's communicating, because I feel like the center spot on the offensive line is so important for communicating. And we grew up with Nick Mangold as our center. We were so lucky to have him. So hopefully Conor McGovern can become that solidified center that's getting everybody intact, stay healthy, and hopefully he doesn't have any penalties, because last year he had no penalties. So that's a good sign.
Hopefully he can develop a good relationship with Sam as well, because the center quarterback connection is paramount to the offense's success. So hopefully they can get that rocking and rolling, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, actually, going off of what Jack just said, Conor McGovern was asked about his thoughts on Sam Darnold, and he keeps saying, he's like, I've never played with a more athletic quarterback than Sam Darnold. He thinks that he's a freak athlete, which is awesome to hear. He feels like he has a veteran presence to him. He's so young, but he carries himself like a veteran. So that's just a really good sign to see Conor McGovern speak up on our franchise quarterback and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, man.
Going into another thing that has to do with Makai Beckham, Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore broke off excellent runs on the left side. So that means Makai Beckham had something to do with it, opened up holes. And I think the running attack is going to be huge for this offense. I think Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore are going to be a really good 1-2 punch. And I think Makai Beckham on that left side, I think they're going to feed him the rock always on that left side. And it's interesting because Alex Lewis is our left guard and he did not practice today. So it's good to see that they were opening up holes on that left side. So I really hope Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore can develop and become that dominant number 1, number 2 running back duo, because the future of this NFL is not really, besides the guys like Christian McCaffrey, the elite offenses in this league has 1 and 2 running backs. It's like a duo. It's not really one guy that's doing everything. Some teams do that, but most teams that are successful. So I'm excited to see what Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore can do together.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations for Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore?
I love our running back group this year. I think we have a very diverse and unique running back group. We have, a totally dynamic player who can do everything in Le'Veon Bell, who can catch the ball, who can run the ball, who can juke anybody on the field out of their shoes. We have Frank Gore, who's the best veteran running back in football. If Frank's not first ballot Hall of Fame, there's a problem.
Yeah.
But and then also I want to touch on a second on LaMichael Pirine, who hopefully his ankle heals up. and he's back out there for us as soon as possible. But I feel like, with those three, I feel like we have a super dynamic running back group this year. I'm excited to see them in action.
Yeah, I mean, we got so lucky that Lamichael Pirines injury is just a low ankle sprain, because the way it was portrayed in the media and the way he got hit, it sounded like he broke his ankle or tore something, had a ligament damage, but luckily it's just a sprain. So that's only like a couple weeks and he'll be back. So that's a really good sign, because Lamichael Pirine has been killing it. I'm high on him. I think Lamichael Pirine is the future running back of this Jets offense, and I'm excited that he only dealt with the ankle sprain. Another player I want to briefly touch up on, who I actually have not mentioned once in these training camp videos, who actually had 2 pass breakups, is undrafted rookie cornerback Lamar Jackson. He was a guy that a lot of Jets fans were excited about when we initially signed him after the draft. He's a long, lengthy guy, and obviously he has the name Lamar Jackson, so that stands out of the paper. He made some plays today, so that's a good sign. We are seeing Pierre Desir come back. I don't really think Lamar Jackson has really room to make this roster, but it's good to see him make some plays. Hopefully he'll be on the practice squad, and we'll see what he can do. And going off of that, Pierre Desir actually played with the second team today and some first team reps, but on the second team, he already almost had an interception on backup quarterback Mike White. So it's really good to see Pierre Desir get healthy, because he is a huge part to this defense. He is our veteran guy that's going to solidify that cornerback 1 spot, and alongside him is Bless Lawson. So what are your expectations for this cornerback position? I mean, Pierre Desir getting healthy is huge for the secondary.
Cornerback is one of those positions for us that has been very up in the air for the last 2 years or so,
I mean, look at these jerseys we're wearing real quick.
Well, we need to touch on that as well,
This is a vintage Antonio Cromartie, Darrell Revis. The last time we had elite corners, so we had to brief up on that.
Best cornerback duo in the league, 2009, right? 2009,
Sure.
2010. But yeah, touching on our current corners, I would like to see them really step up. We need a solidified CB1, and I think Desir can do that for us. I'd like to see him really step up and start making things happen for the secondary, because this secondary, obviously, the departure of Jamal Adams, Marcus May, his injury, his calf injury is not super serious, but missing a little bit of time. So we need this secondary to kind of find themselves and really kind of get it together and have a better year than we've been having the last 2 years, because I feel like that's where we've struggled a little bit on defense. Everybody knows the New York Jets can stop the run. Nobody, that's not a problem that we have. But if this secondary can mesh together and really get it going, it'll do great things for us. And Pierre Desir is going to be a big part of that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was really worried about Pierre Desir, because he is a veteran, and a veteran dealing with a hamstring injury is not a good sign. So it's a good thing he's on the field. Another player who's been practicing finally is slot cornerback Brian Poole. So it's good to see your cornerbacks getting healthy, and it seems like today is just such a positive day for Jets fans, because every single day of practice felt like everyone's still injured. No one's coming back. Oh my gosh, the hope is so low because there's no one healthy. And I woke up this morning and just kept refreshing Twitter and seeing all these positive news, and it's so refreshing as Jets fans to see this, because it just seems like we're so banged up and we have such bad luck. But to see Denzel Mims and Pierre Desir make that next step and finally get on the field. Hopefully this carries over and they can get healthy and get first team reps and get comfortable with the system, because they're 2 brand new players. I mean, Denzel Mims has not played in Gase's system, obviously. Pierre Desir has not played in Greg Williams' system, obviously. So it's a really positive sign for this Jets team to get healthy. And another player I want to brief up on before we finish off this video is rookie safety Ashton Davis. Gase called him the Energizer Bunny in today's interview, and I think he's going to have a huge role. You guys saw my yesterday's breakdown. He had a second interception of camp, so he's all over the field. Whenever he gets on the field, he seems like he's making a play. He's going to be a core special teamer. He's versatile. He can line up at that free safety, the strong safety, the hybrid slot corner, and I'm so excited for Ashton Davis. So what are your expectations for Ashton Davis in the future? I personally think he's the future safety of this Jets secondary.
I agree. I have big expectations for him. Everybody knows he's a speedster, which you need in the secondary, which is great. But another thing that I loved hearing was Adam Gase praising his football IQ and how quickly he's kind of learned how this defense operates, and how he's taken some reps with the ones and kind of shows confidence for a rookie. So that's all good things you want to hear for a rookie safety, especially again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but with Jamal leaving the team, if we can get a young hungry guy with a chip on his shoulder who wants to come in and fill that spot, I'm all for it.
I mean, yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. That really does it for day 13 of Jets training camp. I appreciate you guys staying to the end of this video. And if you guys want to check out Jack, just dropped his brand new single titled 100 Miles. It's an excellent song. It will be linked down below in the description. It's out on all platforms. Just type in Jack Megale, 100 Miles on Apple, Spotify. Excellent musical artist. So make sure you check out my boy Jack on there, of course. And expect more Jack on this channel. Expect me and Jack versing each other on Madden, Jets versus Jets.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to be on this channel all throughout the season. We're going to be doing pregame shows together, reaction videos. So make sure you check out Jack on all social media and check out his music because he's going to have a huge part on this channel. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And let's go Jets.
Peace out.
Peace out.